I am so, so honored to share this experience with you, brought to you by the one and only Tony Robbins.
Yo, let me tell you, Anthony Robbins Day One Summit, Time to Rise. We're absolutely loving it. And I'm going to get straight into some of the key points that I picked up that I would love to share with you. And the first one is recognizing patterns. Okay, now that's a big one because we all have repetitive things that we do subconsciously and consciously. And a key example is mine when it comes to the gym. I have a pattern of being there solid 3 months, 6 months, but then 1 week can change the whole thing and knock me off my whole course. And it might be going on a holiday or taking a short trip or Christmas or New Year's. Yo, I'm still suffering trying to get back to that. So patterns, recognizing the type of things that we do repetitively will allow us to then navigate how we move forward. Energy is the base of everything you do. What? And this is so true. If you're low energy, you will get low results. Now, that goes without saying. If you ain't waking up and taking care of the stuff you need to take care of and you've been lazy, laying in bed, well, guess what results you're going to get? In bed results, nothing, niche, capiche. So having energy to really push you through life. And if you think about successful people, they are disciplined, they're scheduled, and it's not about doing it because you feel like you're doing it because it needs to get done. It's a different mindset, and I absolutely love this. And then he went to talk about when did something happen for you, something you'd been working towards, something you'd been trying to achieve for your whole life, and then you had a breakthrough. What did that look like? And for me, I spoke about my property breakthrough when I was grinding. Like I said, I was waking up early, going to the train station. I was doing all the leaflets, knocking on doors. I mean, I was going in. I was still showing up to networking events, building my connections, building everything, but I was not getting results. But I felt like if I'm doing everything they said I should do, then surely something should give, right? So I just stuck at it. And I think I like the naivety of that because it allowed me to move forward blindly, but having faith. I had a lot of faith then. And it's not until I met my business partners, two experienced men I thought would never work with me. They wanted to work with me because why? We were all going into a new strategy that we all didn't know. So it set a level playing field for us. Not that it meant that anyone needed to be anything, but I thought when you're partnered with someone so experienced, surely you'd have to bring something. I brought nothing but some money in my pocket, and that's what he had. And we went to the courses together. We learned about rent to rent, and then we went flying. So that was a breakthrough for me. But he wanted to talk about what did that look like? Where was your mind when you was going through? What kind of patterns were you doing? What were your patterns then? So, looking at those times when you had breakthroughs will allow you to have more breakthroughs because you're focusing on who you were at that time and what mindset got you there. Then he talks about the 3 keys to a breakthrough, which is your state, your story, and your strategy, right? No results in weight, relationships, career. It's probably because of the state of your mind at the time, the story you're telling yourself, and then the strategy you are utilizing to go about getting any type of result. It is all wrong, honey. So if you're looking for results, you need to change your state. Have a strong state, a confident state. Look at the state you're in and then look at the state you were in when you did have your breakthrough. What was the key difference in those? Then change your story. You are worthy. You can do this. A lot of the time we have the same negative thoughts, the same repetitive thoughts. He said we have about 300 and something thoughts a day, and 80% of those are the same we had the day before. That means your mind is not growing. That's why constantly putting things into your mind, reading books and watching seminars and hearing podcasts day in and day out, you are channeling your mind. As a man thinketh, a man something. What? As a man thinketh, you know the book. Can't believe the book ain't even coming to me, honey. But as a man thinketh, he getteth, he becomeseth, he iseth. So if you think low, you got low energy, low results, low mindset, low results, low confidence, low results. It's all interlinked, every single bit of it. So changing your mind state, changing the story you tell yourself, and then changing the way you go about doing it. Now, finally, if you change the first 2, the third one will naturally come because you're thinking, listen, I can do this, right? I am going to do this. Of course, how you're going to go about doing it will change. But when they say talk about changing your strategy, it's taking in a new route, doing a new route, and then demanding more from it, demanding more. And then he goes on to talk about the warrior inside of you. Yes, everyone has the warrior inside of you. Okay, everyone has been that person that they've wanted to be when you were knocking down doors. You were kicking down doors. Forget knocking, honey. There was no knocking. You blasted down the damn thing. Okay, you was the police in your life. You was watching what was coming in and watching what was going out. You had no fear, and that is where he wants you to be. And he wants you to see that warrior inside of yourself again. This is why we were standing up doing Superman. We were standing up doing Batman. And I'm not going to lie, it does feel a bit funny when you're doing it. Like, man, what kind of childish nonsense this man got us doing. But I'm not going to lie. If you really do it and think, you know what, forget who's looking at me. And this is another thing. When you're going through life, you need to put the rubbish aside. Forget who's looking at you. This is my washing machine about to go, but I need to get this content out, honey, because I got things that do. So if there's a washing machine in the background that you can hear, my bad. Then he talks about, okay, what color is this warrior? What does he look like? What does he or she look like? What does it look like? Sometimes it's a shape for some people. Sometimes it's a mist for some people. But what is it for you? And I spoke about mine was black, but then also it was colorful. It had white and it had orange. It had turquoise. Yes, my favorite colors, honey. But it was strong and it was confident. This warrior, it knew what it wanted and it did not care. It had trust and faith. And having faith for me is the key thing for me. And the Most High God, he has me. He gonna guide my footsteps. And honey, if I drop, he gonna pick me up. So you need to not worry about that. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is struggling with the same mental health. Believe it or not, we all have the same thoughts, the same negative thoughts, but some of us are much better at overcoming these thoughts than others. And that's all it is. It's our mental strength. Some are a little bit more stronger, but as you get to exercise that muscle more, you will be able to become stronger more mentally. You can do it. That is not a question of if, it's how, and that is how you get different results. Asking yourself different questions, you would get different results. So I really had a good time. You know, I've written a lot of things down here saying, I am enough. We are enough. We are worthy. Why not do it? Embrace the unknown. It is safe. What does my queen say? Because he talks about finding the king inside of you, finding the queen inside of you. Okay, honey. Find that thing, talk to it. And now this is different to the warrior, because you got the warrior who's ready to roll around in the mud and get dirty and let's go, let's do this. And then you've got the king and the queen, and there's some etiquette there, honey. There is demands, there's standards. Yeah, there's a standard of a queen. There's a presence of a queen. And this is slightly different to the warrior, but he wants you to talk to your queen. Now, in my queen, I've written here, what does my queen say? And my queen, I said, I trust myself. You are strong. The power is here with you, with me, with us right now. The world needs your work. Every fall is a lesson. It is okay. Just get up and don't be afraid. Ooh, child. Yes, honey. I love it. Because let me tell you something about me, honey. I got goals. I got big goals. From a long time, I wanted to build over 250 houses for single mothers. I was a single mother at one stage and I felt it. The lack of community, the lack of presence. Raising a child here in the UK on your own, man, who said hell is somewhere else? Who said it's somewhere else? They never realized that hell could be on earth sometimes, okay? And it's not the child, it's just that responsibility day in, day out while you're trying to strive for greatness. Man, it's hard. And even if you ain't trying to strive for greatness, run around after a whole nother child. You see my baby in the video, look at him. Now, he's a beautiful little thing, cute little thing. But man, it is not easy. Now, then we spoke about map. Now, okay, he never spoke about. He did speak about love, finding the lover inside of you. Now, I kind of lost a bit of track on that. I don't know if he was talking about the lover that find my lover or find the love that I have for myself inside myself. So I didn't know what one he was actually referring to, but you can. I have written a few notes about marriage here because with any marriage, it comes with challenges. It comes with trials and tribulations. These are two individual people trying to meet together at the soulship level. That's not easy, honey. That's not easy. So I've put things down like you can turn things around because there are challenges here. We do have different things that we believe, not just spiritually, but our actions as a human in marriage. The things that he does annoys me and the things I do annoys him. Now, this creates a bit of miserableness sometimes, and so those are things that we've got to overcome and support one another. Trust that it will get better. Trust your design. Trust your decision. Trust who you chose. Girl, that these strong women, they be ready to leave, right? Ooh, child, I can't believe I'm sharing this with yourself. But I think one thing I realize is that this thing, sometimes we put a mask on. And I'm not saying I put a mask on, but I'm very private. I do not like sharing my business. I like to keep myself to myself. I've got that from my mother. She tells no one nothing. Whereas me, I will still talk about challenges that I'm having, but I tend to keep my private life private, and I like it that way because I don't need y'all trying to tell me nothing. But at the same time, if I'm going to share good things that are happening good, why would I not share also the bad? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why would I not? Why? Because I'm worried. What am I worried about? Listening to Tony Robbins, I realized there's so many people going through the same thing, having the same mental challenges. Not to say I'm having mental challenges, but the thinking that you are not enough. Something is better to come. Something like this is it now. We're here now. Embrace it now. I'm growing my business now. Put yourself on the line now. Stop playing safe. Get out there. Who cares the fact that you want to raise £100,000 and you don't want to say it on your YouTube video? Say it. Who cares? Just follow the rules. Follow the rules. But don't care so much. So, like I've done, that's next in my line. Make it amazing. Make it exactly what you want it to be. Nothing worth comes easily. Nothing worth having comes easily, sorry. Working through the hardship and getting to a loving, endearing, affirming, warm place is a testimony. And did you know how I said warm, honey? I love me some affection. Baby, you rub up on me on the sides, rub up on the lip, rub up, hug, kissing. Listen, that's the way to my heart. My baby got to learn that. Be patient, be kind. That's probably me. That's definitely me to be patient because I ain't got no patience. And work on the emotions to have calm responses, calm emotions, and change the inner voice against the husband. And I don't know if any of y'all women struggling with this, but there's an inner voice that wants to go against every single thing he says. I don't like that voice. And I constantly have to work to quiet that voice down and say, listen, I'm not the boss of him. I don't need to boss him about and tell him what to do. Although if you're going to act like a child sometime again, yeah, like a man, treat like a man, act like a child, get treated like a child. So you gotta be careful not to treat your man like a child, no matter how he's acting. He is a man, he's worthy. Respect, respect, respect. And that's key. But obviously if you go in the day-to-day life and you got kids that you're raising, you got money that you're spending, you got habits that you're creating, and if they're not in the line, problems can come about, but it does not mean you lose respect. And I think that's the key thing here. Not that I was, but of course with any relationship, it's always on the it's always a thin line, isn't it? And then again, in the mirror, call on your warrior, talk to your queen. Be your soldier. Be your own soldier. And there's a lot of people who are protectors. My husband's a natural protector. He will jump in front of a moving bus for me. That's the love that he has. But that's not even actually love that he has. He would literally do that for his own mother. So he's a natural protector. But why did I say that? It's because sometimes we have to be a protector for ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And I think there's a thin line with that. Be protective for yourself, but don't overprotect. But there's so much notes that I've taken. I won't go through all of them, but those for me were the key things. It was all about finding your warrior, finding the queen within yourself, being the soldier for yourself. Stop your limiting beliefs and tell yourself a different story and go about things you want differently. I really hope you've enjoyed this overview of day 1, the Time to Rise Summit, and I'll be back for day 2. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.